Recording. Start streaming. See. Y'all say something for me?
Yo.
Testing.
All right, cool. We good. Damn, there's 170 people in here already. Jesus Christ.
Oh wow.
That's been waiting, man.
Yeah.
I forgot I was supposed to start 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, we
Emails
supposed to start.
We're just chilling.
We're
just
supposed to start
waiting.
like 15 minutes ago, just chilling. Yo, what is good, everybody? I am here joined with two special guests. I'm here with King of Lightning and Mr. Morj. We here just to kick back, talk about some One Piece, and get out anything that we haven't talked about in a minute. So what's up, man? How y'all living? We've been talking for a minute.
Good.
How y'all living?
Yeah. Pretty good, no doubt.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Okay, so I don't even know where I don't know where we want to start at. I mean, we're on break right now. The last chapter was amazing. It was cool. But
last chapter was something.
Last chapter was that was something different. So what'd y'all think of the last chapter? We could just start right there.
I mean, I'll start off. For me, the last chapter I thought was like a really, really damn good chapter. It was an amazing chapter. I gave the chapter actually, like, I know a lot of folks like 10 out of 10. I actually gave it a 9 out of 10. Initially I gave it a 9.5, and I dropped it to a 9. But I love the Zoro shit. Like, that Zoro shit was dope as all hell. For the first time, Zoro at full power. It's been so refreshing because, like, for the entire post time skip, we have never seen Zoro at full power. And finally, thank you, Zoro at full power. Shout outs to Law, but Luffy, I mean, wow, bro. Oh, wow, man. Wow, man. Yeah, Luffy just floored me. I couldn't believe what I was seeing there. Like, it was just like the fact that he's doing what Roger and Whitebeard did. It really makes you think, yeah, like, we really are approaching end of series One Piece because Luffy's doing like prime Whitebeard stuff right now. I'm like, this is crazy, man. Like, it was amazing. So the chapter was an absolutely phenomenal chapter. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, so for me, the chapter got spoiled really early. Like, every beat of it got spoiled really early on. So that's just
like the whole chapter got spoiled for you?
Pretty much the whole chapter. Well, because okay, I will. Part of it's on me because part of it was like I started seeing the comments, which was because I've been saying for a little bit I believe that Wano was leading up to Conqueror's Haki being the way that they beat Kaido. I'd said that for a while, so I had some theory videos out on it. So early in the week when spoilers started dropping, people started commenting again on those videos. I'm like, why am I getting no? Okay, it's because of this shit. Part of it's on me because then like I'd see a bit of the comment and I couldn't help just like reading all the way through and then like past a little bit like I'm like not even trying to stop myself. I'm like, okay, so this happens. But I kind of got the gist of everything that's going to happen in the chapter before it happened, which took away like a tiny bit of it for me. If I just gotten to like read and not know what's happening the next, like not know that Luffy's about to do this stuff. But tough, even man. With that, yeah, it sucks. But like, that's probably, I'm sure that's happened to you, man, like plenty of times.
Yeah, but I avoided everything as much as possible, Like,
yeah,
really trying,
I guess because I do mine on the Fridays, so usually like there's not much, like I don't have to worry that much, right? Like you do it a little later, so I guess you're more ready for it, like avoiding spoilers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just like scrolling through. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, got spoiled. But the chapter itself, like it was still like even knowing what happened, just seeing it was something else. Like actually seeing Luffy like have that like a yard gap between his fist and like Kaido, and like it's actually like dealing damage to Kaido. That was just unreal. I don't even know. I think it's one of those things I kind of got to reread all of Wano, or at least all of this entire battle, to kind of see how I feel, because I don't know if like is it too fast that Luffy got this ability or something like that, or is it just right, or like I don't know. I just know I really liked the chapter in the moment that I read it. So one of the best chapters on the rooftop, and in Wano in general, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Tay Iverson, appreciate you donating $5. Shouts out to Tay Iverson. I'm always showing love. But yeah, man, Haki is just such an inconsistent power scheme to me. It pisses me off, man. Pisses me off sometimes because it's like every time we get answers or we get shown something, then it's like, okay, more questions. You know, like it's.
I know what you mean, but like, I know what you. So like, I literally have a video. I have a video that I felt like I needed to make talking about the difference between this stuff and previous stuff that I'm putting out. Like,
here. Yeah.
Used it. Yeah, because I'm just like, I feel like I'm seeing so many different, like crazy different opinions going on Twitter. Like some people are saying, oh, so like this was actually what Hyogoro was teaching Luffy the entire time and stuff like there's like lots of different opinions of what actually happened. Yeah. I think we got to wait a little bit to get the full perspective because that's sometimes what happens. Because like, remember when the Scabbards cut Kaido? Remember when the Scabbards all cut Kaido in that big like group attack, and then Kaido was like, "That was too shallow, didn't scar me."
Yeah,
I think it was only now that we found out why they couldn't scar him back then. Whereas back then we didn't really have like the reason why they couldn't leave a scar, but Odin did. We found out now. At least my interpretation is like Odin was using Conqueror's Haki. That's why he could do it. They just have armament Haki. That's why they couldn't do it. That's my interpretation. You know what I mean?
So the problem is that, again, like we don't necessarily know all the details of the whole Haki aspect because on Twitter, and I kind of agree with this too, where like there could be a case here where, in particular with Zoro, not too sure if he's actually conquered that Haki or not. The assumption that he is, so I think so it's a maybe with Zoro. It's like okay, we're not too sure why there was focus on Emma specifically before he went to Ashura, and then after he goes in Ashura, he cuts him. But he's not doing any like lightning sparks, or he's not, let's say, doing like the gap thing that Luffy's doing. And then it's a question mark of wait, does he actually have Conqueror's Haki or not? So I'm not too sure if he actually does or not. And the whole thing about Enma is that it was very unique to begin with. So we're not too sure. I want to say that Zoro has it because it kind of makes sense given the title, given the theme. But at the same time, we're not too sure because they're not too sure. So it's out of the air for the time being. And then also, a lot of folks had a problem with Luffy because Luffy learned this Haki now after taking shots from Kaido. But folks thought that it was a Mary Sue moment for Luffy, where it just came out of like, oh, fucking nowhere. Hey, I learned it. I got it. Boom. And he's devastating Kaido. Like Kaido's on his back. And I can understand the grievances, but at the same time, I've always said before that Luffy, he does learn things at a very fast growth rate, like exponentially so. So he's not born a stud, like let's say Chadin, where like he was, like in the pleasure quarters, like killing bears or boars. Like, no, he wasn't born like a freak, but he becomes a freak way faster than anybody else.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, so I think in this fight, where we're seeing Luffy, and plus Haki's been blooming. I mean, he has another Haki bloom in the middle. It's like, what? Yeah. It's crazy. So, I mean, Luffy, I think, has been it makes sense, I suppose, but a lot of folks kind of feel like, well, the training now is like what was the point of the training with Hyogoro if this Conqueror's Haki thing is what really puts him on Kaido's level, or maybe on Kaido's level.
Okay, I got a couple of things to say. Okay, so I'm just gonna touch on the whole Luffy, like I figured it out thing. I really did not like that. That like now let me be very clear here. It was hype. It was hype learning that you can add Conqueror's Haki to your attacks. You can coat with Conquerors as well, right? That was dope. But when Luffy's saying, I figured it out, right? So if we just go, would y'all say that there was Haki in the Thunder Bagua, right? Like the Conqueror's Haki? You'd say so?
That was the implication.
Right, yeah, that's the implication. That's the implication, right?
I think, yeah.
Okay, so whenever we have Luffy going to Udon, right? It's like he's not trying to figure out what Kaido did to him. He's trying to figure out how to hurt Kaido. Right?
True.
So then, for him to be on the roof and then for him to get hit with the what was it? The Ragnarok? And for him to just say, "Oh, I figured it out." I just wish I wish we would have led up to that a little bit more, because it's like All right, so you went to Udon, and what you were the answer that you came to was, "Hey, let me figure, or I think I'll be able to damage Kaido with what Rayleigh, with what I saw Rayleigh use back on that big huge elephant. That's what I'll be able to damage Kaido with. Okay, and then now it's okay, those attacks were actually too shallow. That's not good enough. And oh, I figured out this Conqueror's Haki thing. It just seemed like the writing right there was a little
Yeah, no,
off
I
to me.
got you. I think like so I because I talked about this in my chapter. This is what I meant by like I have to read it in the flow of the entire battle and see how I feel. Because you're
Hmm.
right, it's hype, but is it like well set up? So we could compare it to, for example, Katakuri, and people had their issues with Luffy developing, the
Observation.
ability. But with
Yeah,
Katakuri was a little different because at the very least, first of all, Future Sight was something that was planted earlier in the arc. So
Right.
Katakuri talked like that's established. Then we get that motivation established for Luffy partway through the fight that my way to beat Katakuri is picking up on the same ability to beat it. And then we get step by step him slowly getting into that role or like into that zone where he can start using Future Sight, and then we get to see him beat Katakuri. So whether or not you liked that fight, I know there's still controversy about that fight. I see what you're saying. Where if we compare this Conqueror's Haki blooming to that observation
To
Haki blooming,
I'll choose
there's
that any day.
yeah, yeah, there's
I
more
right.
pieces set in place. I'd say at the very least in defense, my interpretation was like the stuff that Luffy learned in Udon to hurt Kaido better. What he landed on here, like that stuff, I don't think was useless. It was more so he learned that, like, okay, this is what I do to hurt Kaido, and it was working. What he realized here was that he needed to just replace the stuff that he was doing with armament, like instead of letting the armament flow out. So he still needed to learn how to let Haki flow out. He just
Right.
had to replace that with Conquerors. So I agree that it's not done the best. I don't think it's like done the worst either. Like I don't know what to say exactly, but like I kind of just need to I need to see
It's
how it
not
goes.
an it's
Yeah,
listen, it's not like an ass pull or anything like that. I'm not saying that. It
yeah,
was just like I was a little like
I get what you're saying.
am I like I had to go back and I had to read the chapter. Like I read the chapter again after I initially read it on what was it? I think I read it on Thursday or Friday, and then I went
Mm.
back and I read it on like Tuesday. I read the viz and I just had to take the hype out of me and I had to just read it and be like, and I was just like, it's okay, it's not bad, but you know,
I still
I,
hope Luffy loses. I hope
I
if he
mean,
loses another round, I think
oof.
that'd be really good for this. I know people don't really believe that, but I hope that he loses so it's not that easy because it does feel a little easy for him right now. That's all I'll say.
Well, I agree with you more. I agree with you. Like if Luffy's gonna be up standing with Kaido right here, by himself, assuming that Law and Zoro, go down
They
into the
bounce.
dome. Yeah,
Yeah, they bounce.
assuming
Yeah.
that they bounce, then yes, like I would detest that if Luffy was just giving the business to Kaido. But what I will say is that I hope because Luffy is in base right now that it's solely like he hones in on his Haki. I hope that he's like kind of like when he was closing his eyes whenever he was fighting Katakuri.
Right.
I hope it's something like that. I'm not saying like close his eyes fighting Kaido, but I hope that he's solely reliant on like his Haki for this portion, and then if Kaido overwhelms him, and then that's when like let's say that's when Hawkins and more people come back up to the roof. I'm cool with that.
I would say that if anything, you have this whole notion of Rio hockey,
Hmm.
which has been a lot of folks have been kind of confused with it for like a while now. But this whole conquest thing on top of that, I think that's what it really is. I think that Luffy's just ultimately stacking what he's um figured out with Conqueror's hockey with his Rio hockey that he learned from Hyogoro, and it's all encompassing of the hockey flow. Where like the most important thing was understanding hockey
The
flow
flow.
and
Agree.
then how that Kangasaki plays a role into that. Because ultimately speaking, we also have to kind of really value the training that Luffy's been through with Rayleigh. Like he's had an edge amongst other people of his peer group because he went through all hockey training, conquerors, armament, and option hockey. All of he's been training with all that stuff. So that's why I think, in terms of his growth rate, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, he kind of figures shit out, and it's kind of weird. Well, let's say compared to pre-time skip, where like in NA's lobby, I'll know it. Like out comes gear second, gear third. So what the hell is this? It's like compared to then, this is way better.
Yeah,
I'd say,
I would agree.
yeah.
I would agree.
One thing, well, so gear second and third is weird because like, so gear second and third, I think when gear second first happened, I know everybody when gear second first happened, you're just hyped, you just love it, you just like it's just the coolest thing because One Piece didn't have that speed shit up till that point, right? Like One Piece action was actually kind of ass till gear second. I'll say that. Like I think One Piece action was bad till gear second came into play. Dude, like, I mean, compared to like other anime, like I don't know, like Luffy was slow. Luffy was just slow, dude. Like he was just slow. He was just like he was just slow. The fights were dramatic. I'll always argue One Piece fights are really emotionally strong, really dramatic, but like Luffy was just slow. Gear second was where it stepped up. This is what Oda always does, which is he prefers to explain the power up later, right? So like gear second and third, I think people were actually fine with once we got the explanation that, oh, it's just like a smart way to use the rubber fruit ability. So like, but Oda didn't explain that right away. Like he took a little bit to explain it. I think same with like a lot of the Haki stuff. We've like advanced Haki. We see glimpses of it way earlier, and then Oda takes a while later to explain it. Like we just found out why Thunder Bagua, like one shot at Luffy, right? So like, that's just, it's not maybe the best way to do things, but I think that's just the way Oda prefers to do things, and it makes for some hype moments. So I don't know.
Before we keep going, I just want to acknowledge some donations. Big Bougie, appreciate you, bro. He says, "Yo, Kingu, Muhammad here. Let's go. I'm ready for a great stream."
Oh, this man, Muhammad, yo, peace be upon him. How you doing, son? Damn.
And then the Loner 23, shouts out the Loner. Says, "Have no fear. The official Supernova is here. Showing love to Mr. Bensei and y'all. Big ups to Morj. He inspired me to make my Blackbeard versus Straw Hat video. And big ups to King of Lightning. Love you." Yeah, that's what he said. And then
bless,
he asked
brother,
for a
bless.
Yeah, appreciate you, Loner. I'm gonna say something else to everybody in the chat. There's 400 people in here, man. And there is only 130 likes. I need y'all to like the stream for me, please. Get it around so more people can get up in here. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think this is something that I haven't been seeing talked about much is how many chapters left of Wano do y'all think we have? Do y'all think that Wano is going to end
this year? Yes.
This year?
This year, yeah.
This year, you think it's ending?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I'm very confident in that one. We're still in Act 3. We're still in Act 3. Still.
Okay.
I mean, I think that, like, I was a believer that, yes, we're going to be having 5 acts. But then I was talking to some guys, like, at the end of, like, because we get to Chapter 1000, everything's there, still in Act 3. We have fights and stuff with Kaido, Big Mom, Luffy, and so on, Act 3. We go back down to lower levels, still in Act 3. I'm like, we're still in Act 3, dude. So I do be on too. I'm like, yo, if we're still in Act 3 now, there's a good chance that this is going to be a 3-act arc play, if you would. And then maybe Act 4 for, let's say, a wrap-up, and then we move on. And mind you, no Grand Fleet, no nothing. And honestly, keep it in the buck, dude. If Big Mom's not going to be a factor, then I think I was right. Hopefully I'm right. Where Big Mom, she's not coming. She's not going down this arc. Next arc, Elbaf, wherever the fuck, Big Mom's, because she's coming back.
No.
Coming back?
No.
I mean,
no.
I know you. I mean, I knew you'd say that because you're not. But I'm telling you, man. Yeah. Big Mom,
we've all had this discussion before. I'm pretty sure, like Ben's are on the side that Big Mom's going down this arc. You're on the other side, so like we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, King, listen, bro. I just don't. I don't think that Big Mom has to be beaten to submission for her to be defeated, or for her to lose her Yonko position. I don't.
You want the whole what's it called again? The Olin crap.
No.
It's not necessarily that I want that. It's just I'm going based off of like just what we have. I don't think that the Amnesia plot line is done. I don't think that the Olin stuff is done. And then did you so not to go like too far into it, but did you see that video I did about the former kids of the House of the Lambs?
CP0?
Yeah. Yes. So listen.
I'm not buying it though.
Okay, that's fine. All I'm gonna say is that if Big Mom does revert back to Olin, right, and she sees these people that are CP0. They could use her, or they could possibly control her. Not in the sense like, you know, like with the devil fruit or anything. That, like, it's just somebody familiar to her. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. And then if the world government wanted Big Mom when she was a little kid and when she didn't have one of the most powerful devil fruits in the series that we saw, then what do you think the world government will want to do with her now? When she's significantly stronger than she was, she has one of the most powerful devil fruits, so on and so forth. I'm not saying that they're gonna, like, you know, take Big Mom and try to make her into, like, you know, try to make her be like some type of enforcer for the world government, bro. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think that this is like, okay, well, let's take advantage of the situation. CP0 already said pirates wipe each other out. Y'all wipe each other out, and then, you know, you do what you do. So imagine if they can get someone like Big Mom on their side, or out of the world of piracy.
Look, here's what I mean. Right?
I'm just like not I guess we're all just going to disagree, because I mean, I'm on board that Big Mom's not. I think her storyline ends here. I don't think she's making it to Elbaf. I think her storyline was always just, it was going to end with this saga. I do think that she's just going to be defeated, though, like straight up. I don't think it's going to be. Maybe the amnesia stuff does come back into play, but I do think that she is ultimately going to be like legitimately defeated.
I mean, like for me, I believe Luffy's words, where Luffy said, like, yeah, after Kaido, Big Mom. Like,
I believe that. I think Luffy's going to beat Big Mom. It's the weirdest thing. People don't actually lose, but I believe that he's going to do it here. Like, people don't believe in my vision of Wano at all.
Like Wano
people don't believe in my vision of Wano at all.
I mean, like Morj, like this entire fight, Big Mom has been put to the back burner. Like almost every person has been ignoring Big Mom for the most part. Like even Luffy himself has been saying when he was in the bottom area before, "It's like Big Mom, I don't have time for you right now. Like I don't want to fight you now. It's all about Kaido, 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 Kaido." I would feel like Big Mom herself was here, like hopefully maybe with some rocks pirate stuff. You can argue maybe to like increase the tension overall per se. I don't see Kid taking on Big Mom. Fuck that. So I would ultimately say that no, stop, dude. Listen, this Kid shit is over. We're done with Kid.
Come on,
we're done.
Kids. Okay, we're gonna open up way too many things here. I'm just gonna say here because you asked how long I think Wano will be.
Fair.
You all still know. I think the raid is gonna fail. I've said this many times.
Yes.
I still believe that, which is why I still believe that, like, the possibility.
If it does, that'd be great. That'd be fucking amazing if it did. That'd be amazing if it did, but I don't think it's. Well,
yeah,
I understand why.
I don't think the raid is failing now.
Like, yeah, I mean, I totally understand. Like, it's like not. I don't know if I'm crazy for still thinking that, but I still just do. That's just the way it is.
I think you're holding on to. I think you're holding on to hope. Morj.
I'm holding on to a lot of hope.
Yeah, I think you're holding on to a lot of hope.
There's nothing wrong with holding on a little.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's one more character.
Let's pretend the raid's not going to fail. Like for me, if I didn't think that, then how long do I think it's going to be? So I actually thought about that for a little bit. So fights in One Piece, looking back at stuff like Enies Lobby and Alabasta, I kind of just went back to see. So Straw Hat fights, like individually, each fight Oda likes to take about like 2.5 chapters, basically. So like that's usually how long the Straw Hat fight takes when he does it justice. I like to think he's going to do it like they haven't all gotten fights in so long. I like to think he's going to do that again. So like how many matchups do we have right now? Like how many people need fights? Like 10.
We got Jinbei who's who. We got Sasuke and Frankie. Yep. We got Robin Brooke versus Black Maria, which is kind of bad for obvious reasons. That should be Robin's one-on-one fight, but anyways, then we got Sanji to be determined.
You guys think Zoro's still gonna? I think if this is the end, I think Zoro's gonna get healed up and gonna get a 1v1 still. I don't know if you guys think that.
I think Zoro. I mean, y'all know what I think about Zoro, so.
But it depends on Marco, because I don't think Law can heal up Zoro to the point where he can actually recover, considering how he's taking so much damage. I think so. It depends on Marco per se, but Marco right now is being eyed by fucking Pero Sparrow Perorin, so I'm not too sure. Yeah. And then maybe
tag out. Maybe he tags out, heals Zoro and tags in.
I think Sanji's gonna come save Marco like right at the last second, like right before it looks like Marco's gonna go down. Sanji's gonna come save him. Um,
Because okay, so like,
there's
and,
just
well,
oh,
and then
it's
also
too
I mean, okay,
much.
Jack,
let's
too, and
say
then
let's
also
freeball
Jack,
it.
and then Jack
Let's say
Yunashi.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Let's
gone.
freeball it.
Jack
Let's
and
say there's like
Arashi.
12, 13 matchups that need to
Yeah, fair enough.
happen,
Yeah, yeah,
plus
that's a
like
lot.
Luffy's, something like that. Like, so, and Luffy's is usually a little longer. So I don't know if everybody else is gonna converge back on the roof to help Luffy out, like Ben was saying. Let's just say like Luffy, whatever the stuff happens to take down Kaido, that'll take, I don't know, like 10 chapters, something like that on its own. So like, I don't know, 2.5 times. I don't know what the
Well,
math
if
is looking
you
like, but it's, you know.
if you look at Dressrosa, I think that Wano fights are gonna follow a trend that Dressrosa fights did. When those Dressrosa fights were done in like a chapter.
Yeah, but those were side
Yeah.
characters. These are the
They
Straw Hats, man. Like, I
Okay,
really
no, but
hope
some of
Oda
these
doesn't
fights have
do
been
the
going for a
Straw Hats like
minute.
that.
No, but keep in mind that like a lot of these fights have been going for like a minute off screen. So it's like you have Nami and this whole thing with like, so Nami in page one, or Nami and Usopp ulti in page one could be like a 2 for 2. Like after, let's say she gets, like she finds Zeus's box thing, she gets Zeus back. Usopp does some crazy shit, and then all of a sudden they take up page one ulti, or then, some of that sort. And then let's say, because Frankie and Saki been gone for a minute, that could easily, be like, let's say one chapter in of itself. Jinbei and who I want to see a 2 chapter cover that for sure.
Dude, but like
Um,
if these things happen in 1 to 2 chapters, it's just like really bad to be honest. Like it's just it's like really really rough because like you can't do a lot in 1 chapter at all. Like it's gonna be so surface level
but
because
but what Matt just said, it makes a lot of sense. Like the pacing of One Piece Companions Lobby is way different now. It's way faster now.
and
It blitzes now.
no,
exactly
I get
and
you. I'm just
King
saying I
and
like I don't think that's like a good thing. Like I'm saying like if Oda does that now, like does this like if the length of like the Tontada Leo's fight is the same as like Robin and Brook get, that's just gonna be so bad.
well,
Like
Morj, what I'm also like considering as well is that Oda is pretty much storyboarding for the anime. I think we can all agree on that.
oh,
Yes,
dude.
For
I agree.
I'm
There's
not
a
gonna
minute
say
now.
against
Yes.
that, but I just
he's
hate hearing
story
it. Like
he's
I'm not saying you're
storyboarding.
wrong. I just hate hearing. Like to me, that's just like why am I even reading this then? Like that's just so sad. Like I just hate hearing that.
Bro, I'm
I
telling you,
mean,
man.
I'm
I've
not
been
saying
saying
you're
for
wrong.
years. I've
You're
been
not
saying for
wrong.
years,
I think
man.
that's
I've been saying for years.
I think that's the case more so than anything, especially with the fights, right? So we'll probably like that Usopp and Nami stuff that was happening in that chapter. You know how fast that went by, bro. That's
Bro.
gonna be so long. It's gonna be so much more drawn out in the anime, and we're actually gonna feel something from it. Where Nami's like what she said, like Luffy's gonna be the one that to become the Pirate King. I didn't
Right.
feel anything from that when I read it, but I know
Because her
that I'm
head was
gonna feel
bashed in,
something.
and it was skipped. It was skipped. Oda skipped that whole thing.
Exactly,
Let's go.
exactly. So when we get to see that in the anime, it's gonna be much more drawn out, probably much more emotional, and I feel you, Morj. I don't necessarily like it, but
Yeah, I mean, like yeah,
but
might
I mean
just be
that's
the
what
truth.
yeah,
Might
it just might be the truth.
yeah.
And then like I just think that what Oda wants to focus on the most, where he's like really gonna put his time, obviously is with the fight with Kaido. Maybe I don't know if we're gonna see the fight with Big Mom. I don't know if we're gonna see Kid and Killer. I think that we should.
Oh, we got it. I mean, come on, it's Big Mom. Like
I mean,
she's
but
the Yonko.
okay,
Yeah, but is
so
she
we
going down
think
this arc?
we think that this
Yeah. So we got
think
like
that the
2 different
arc
paths.
we think the
Yeah,
arc
that's
is
what you
gonna
say,
end.
baby.
We think the arc is gonna end like this year or beginning of next year, right? So like,
Yeah.
where is all of this gonna fit? Like where? So we got Big
Why not
Mom.
have Big Mom do what the Beast Pirates have been saying for a minute now?
Mhm.
They've been saying for a minute now. Like you have Queen say it, you had Kaido say it a few times. Pirates betray each other. Big Mom's like, hey, yo, wait a minute. This dude Kaido, he's on it. Like he's looking like a bitch right now. You know what? I'm gonna go to Wano, grab some poneglyph rubbings. I'm gonna go to all this stuff. Kaido, we out. Because again, Paris has been like, yo, like the Beast Pirates, like they're not. We're a team for the time being, man. Like, but we don't like these people. And I mean, and mind you too, Big Mom going down this arc when not even her own crew is there, and Luffy said after. So it's like for me, this just helps validate my notion where it's like Big Mom, this is not her time. She's a side character, which is crazy, but she's a side character right now. That's it.
It's so
That's
sad.
it.
That makes me want to cry.
But is it really though? Because she's gonna get her sign. Like I would argue this, right? Come next arc, either they go back to Whole Cake Island full force, or Elbaf. Who knows, right? It's gonna be Luffy 1-on-1, Big Mom. No frills, no assists, nothing. There's Big Mom and Luffy, me and you. Let's get and it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be amazing. That's what I'm hoping for. Because at some point, Luffy has to reach that level. Because I would argue that Blackbeard too is gonna level up in power as well. Because I think he has to. I think ultimately he has to. The whole thing with Shanks and Blackbeard, I mean, fabled at this point in time. So we have to see how things roll there. But I feel like Luffy and Blackbeard come Raftel, either at Raftel or like either after Raftel, who knows what's gonna happen exactly. They're gonna be like the strongest. That's gonna be like Luffy's potential endgame fight, with the exception of Emu. So those two should be the strongest by then, with one exception potentially. And we're seeing it, and we're seeing it play out. We're seeing it play out. The only problem right now is Eustace Kid, because folks still want to give Kid a shine, but Kid has been written down the story. He sucks. Keep it in the book. Like Kid has not.
I don't even want to touch the Kid topic. I just think, guys,
listen,
stuff like that.
Yeah, but more.
Too reactionary. Because people's opinions change so much. It's literally like
Kid was like, yo, like Haki Bloom, stronger than Luffy. Oh, I'm like, yo,
as a kid apologist, right? I will say that Kid has disappointed me. I feel stupid for advocating for him so hard.
Too early.
No. You're right because there still is upside. You know, there's a lot of room for growth.
You can't even take yourself seriously.
Or for
Oda.
No. Listen. I'm just waiting for Oda to show us more of what Kid can do. Like, and I know that sounds so crazy right now to say that. That sounds so crazy right now. But I think that we'll see Kid do something, and if we don't see Kid do anything with Big Mom, then I will eventually, I will officially say that the Kid ship has sailed. It's done. It's over.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah, I think by the end of this arc, we'll kind of know. By the end of this arc, we'll know.
We'll kind of know, but I mean, because there's the thing, it's like I don't see Kid following us, the Straw Hats, you know, as we go on to like other stuff. Like Kid's gonna have his own little adventure, and then he's gonna peace out. But like the fact that in this chapter, right, Kid, who from a writing perspective, had the most, you could argue, the most onus to take on Kaido. He got his ass destroyed by Kaido. Apu betrayed him. His right hand man eats a small devil fruit by hands of Orochi. And Kid's like, yo, nah, Big Mom, what?
Yeah, I'm going to go fight Big Mom. I didn't like that.
I've got a video coming out tomorrow on that. On that topic.
You defend this?
That's why I don't think that Kid's taking out Big Mom here. I think that Kid is actually going to... I mean, like, you guys know, I think the raid's going to fail. Like, that's just the way that I view this whole thing. So, like, I view all these matchups as, like, BS at the moment. But that's, like, that's just the way I'm thinking of it. I think at the very least with Kid, like, people's opinions have changed so much on so many characters, like, chapter to chapter in terms of what they can do over only. Like, Zoro's the biggest example. I don't care how big of a Zoro fan you were before this. I guarantee there was not a Zoro fan in the world who was saying before Wano that Zoro could stop an attack from Kaido and Big Mom at the same time. Like, there was biggest Zoro fan in the world would not say that.
Never that.
But that's the thing. Like, people's opinions change chapter to chapter based on, like...
Wait, no, I've heard worse. But I've heard a lot worse, dude.
People were saying that Zoro, you know, people been saying Zoro's going to kill Kaido. People been saying that Zoro's going to do...
ZKK got curb stomp last chapter. Whoa.
Nah, I don't think ZKK got curb stomp, bro, because Zoro's going to come back to the roof.
Nah, it depends. I don't know. Like, I don't think that
listen, before we get into that, King, before we get into that, I just got donation. Just to Omar Gaskin said the Morj, I'm excited for Zoro analysis video. Love the work. How do you guys feel about Smoker and Tashigi and Wano at this point? We could talk about that as well, because that's a more broad topic. But let me go down. There's one more donation. And appreciate the 20 Canadian dollars. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that has donated. Whether it be a penny, a dollar, whatever it is. Marcus Goforth says, we don't like the pacing of the fights in the manga, but it makes sense knowing Oda trying to actually wrap up One Piece. Maybe 300 to 400 chapters left. I agree with that. I say like, I say One Piece will probably end like 1,300.
I think that's a good number.
At like 1,300.
I think like because Fishman Island, like they left it at 650, and I think at that point they said something like we got one more half to go at like 650ish. So I can believe that.
So and play mind you, like there's still other arcs that need a lot of love too. So like we can't stay
Final
too
arc.
much time in Wano country. You just can't
Right.
do it.
All right, King. Go back to what you were saying, bro. You said ZKK died last chapter.
So for me, let me get this a few things first with Zoro because I think Zoro's been outstanding. So number one with Zoro is that for me, I think his best feat that we see thus far was him blocking that attack, the
Yeah.
conquest of the sea, as they say in the Viz translation. I know a lot of folks have bitch about the whole translation shit with the Viz. Like, Viz sucks, Viz sucks. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It works for me, whatever. But it's just that I think that was his best feat. But you can see how that attack and that attack alone, just blocking that for like a second, had his whole body messed up, right? And he can still exert his full force. I know a lot of folks saying, "Well, no, not full force because his body was no." So that's not how One Piece characters work. All right, like characters in like their brain can exert their full power attacks.
Right.
If a
Willpower.
full
That's like
power
an important
attack,
point.
It's-
That's like a very important point. Like
Yeah,
when
it's a
well, like
very
when a One
important
Piece
point.
like
willpower.
Luffy beating Crocodile, that was his strongest attack. Luffy beating Lucci, that was. It doesn't matter how tired they were before that. Like that's not the point.
Exactly. It's like they're not Naruto characters. Like I did the video on this one that Mayor's working on hopefully for tonight or tomorrow. But it's like you have literally Zoro at a full power, potentially infuse Kaido into the attack, and Kaido couldn't go on his knees. So yes, he gives Kaido a permanent scar, but compared to let's say Luffy, who could actually like temporarily, you could argue with the King, with the Kong Gatling, maybe knock out Kaido for let's say a few seconds potentially, and then with this one has Kaido on his back, it's like if ZKK is real, it's gonna be like a courtesy where if Kyle's gonna be executed, come in as all this, Zoro does it. That's a like it's like okay, like you do the whole seppuku thing. Starts with seppuku, ends with seppuku, maybe with Kaido because he wants to die anyway. So maybe with that, maybe that's being generous.
Oh wait, actually that's
being
really
very
good.
generous.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got
So
you. I got you enough in the video.
Here's my thing, and this is my main point and why I don't think that ZKK is dead. Right? Is because why does Kaido have to die, or why does he have to die on the roof? A big part of ZKK is that Zoro's gonna kill Kaido over the flower capital. We know that we know that the island is going towards the flower capital right now, and this is what I said when I first saw that Kaido started floating the island, is that the island is gradually going to be destroyed by all of the people that are on top of the roof as the battle goes on. And we've been seeing that, we saw Zoro take out the horn. Yeah. We saw just what happened with this recent attack. I think that more as the fight goes on, more and more we'll get to see those those big panels of the island, those nice little shots where we see the whole island and stuff, right? So I think the island will be destroyed probably before it gets to the flower capital, and at that point, I think Zoro's gonna cut Kaido's head off while he's in dragon form. Me personally, I know, and it's gonna be over the flower capital, moon, all that. It's full moon, so on and so forth. I don't think that I don't think ZKK dies until Zoro dies. My personal opinion.
What? You're being very generous. It's like
I mean, maybe
you're being very generous.
Hey, it's
like,
look. It's
bro,
like more. It's like Morj holding on to the raid failing thing.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I can't. Yeah, I can't.
And me and Big Mom and her leaving Wano country.
Yeah, you and Big Mom being in Elbaf. We all got things that we want to hold on to.
But I'm just saying, like imagine that's like for me, Zoro killing Kaido undercuts Luffy's dream. It just flat out does. This is the first Yonko to go down, the first major obstacle to become Pirate King, and Zoro ends it. That doesn't make much sense, all right? In terms of Luffy, especially when you harken back to Don Chinjao's words of surpassing the Admirals, surpassing the Yonko, surpassing Goldie Roger himself. It doesn't make much sense to me for Zoro to be the one to do it. That's why I can give Zoro that courtesy of, okay, if Kaido's defeated fully, seppuku, and then Zoro cuts his head off. Okay, fine. ZKK, congratulations, you got it. But at that point in time, does it really answer? No, it doesn't. So listen, I'm being generous here, man. Like this is Luffy's still the main character. He's still
okay. Okay, so let me
ask
you.
I'm on board with King because like there's just a lot of quotes. Like there's too many Luffy quotes about Luffy and that's the storyline. Luffy and the Yonko. Like Zoro, the storyline he had going for him was that he had the sword of the person who scarred Kaido. that like no one has scarred Kaido since then, and like Zoro's done that. Like he's checked off that box basically at this point.
Yeah.
And like if Zoro's gonna act as an executioner, like if you're a Zoro fan, you should be ashamed if that happens. It's just like a sad moment for the character. You don't want that.
Wait, what if it's Kid? What if it's Kid though? Right?
If Kid kills Kaido,
well,
that,
I have three. I have three candidates. I have three candidates for who I think are gonna kill Kaido. It's Zoro, Kid, and Blackbeard. Those are my three. I detest Blackbeard doing it because it's just a rehash of Marineford. I don't want that to be the case. I do not want Blackbeard to just swoop into Wano and take Kaido's devil fruit. I will say though, if Blackbeard does indeed get his own fruit, I think the Zoan fruit that Blackbeard should get is Marco's.
Yeah,
a holy trifecta, all three of his devil fruits being from the Whitebeard pirates. I would love that. That makes the most sense. And then the Phoenix fruit would kill his drawback from the Yami Yami no Mi. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. Like he takes double damage. Well, and then he's not really a fluid body type because of the Yami Yami's drawback. I think that the Phoenix fruit will kind of get rid of all of that. So that's what I'm hoping. If Blackbeard does anything, that's what I'm hoping that it is. I don't want him to swoop in and take Kaido's devil fruit. That shit's trash to me.
I think that Blackbeard's going for bigger fish. I think that. So one thing I was mentioning in this arc.
Wait, how big a fish?
Oh, I'm telling you, I got you.
Weapon of mass destruction, probably.
Exactly. Okay. Yep, exactly. Because I feel like that was mentioned. Kaido Big Mom was like, "Yo, we're teaming up to get this shit right now," and I think that they make to Alabasta finally. I think that Blackbeard's saying like the Marines are going for something. We're gonna get that shit first. I think Shanks is on the move too. He's like, "Yo, we're on. This is gonna happen now. I need to cut him off." So maybe the fabled Shanks and Blackbeard is gonna be happening relatively soon. Again, we have like 4 years left.
I think that they'll have. So King, with you on that, right? So I think that Shanks and Blackbeard will have a confrontation. You know how Shanks stopped Kaido from going to Marineford? I think that Shanks will stop Blackbeard from going to Wano. But I will say this: Blackbeard can be in Wano without being there because he can just send someone. He can send someone there that specializes in infiltrative tactics. So you got 3 people in his crew that could do that. You got Lafayette, you got Shiryu, and then you got Katarina Devon. That's 3 people right there. And more so, right? I just want to say something about this to add on to what you said, right? Karibo, I think, is a wild card that people have kind of forgotten about. And I'm making a video. I'm making a video on this, right? I'm making a video on this. So what I think is going to happen is that Karibo is going to see one of the members of the Blackbeard pirates that are in Wano and offer that information up to them so that he can join the Blackbeard pirates. Because if you remember, before he was captured by Drake, he was looking for someone. And I think that person that he was looking for,
like someone was interested or going to be interested in this or some shit.
Right. I think that person that he was looking for was Blackbeard. So I think that that's how. So, and then so there's this theory out there that. And you know, I kind of heard a little bit about it. But you know, when Madam Shirley said that Luffy was the one that destroyed Fishman Island, that's actually Katarina Devon.
Oh, okay.
I
don't like that one.
Yeah,
I subscribe. Have you guys heard of the big one, right? The destruction of the Red Line. That's what One Piece is. You guys heard of that one?
Yeah, because that'll be also the all blue too.
And that's the one I subscribe to, so I'm kind of more on that train rather than Katarina Devon.
However,
that's a twist I hadn't heard before.
Right, but my thing is that with Blackbeard and with Wano Country as a whole, I think that there's too many players. Again, I feel like we can't be in Wano Country for too long because we're already like a year. Like this year, I think is going to end, and so all things with Blackbeard and maybe let's say Sabo, Kuma smacking Sabo to no. I think, honest to goodness, I mean, I know Matt, you don't like it, but I think what we see now is what we get because we still have to defeat all these other people that are still like left down under. We may have Momonosuke do some stuff with the flame clouds. Maybe it's gonna be a stretch, honest to goodness, but what we see out of the worlds. And I think we also forget about Yamato. Yamato has to be, I think, absolutely a player. Like she may actually go to rooftop at some point relatively soon actually team up with Luffy to be her
think
father.
I think Yamamoto goes up to the roof, and I think I think Momonosuke will float the island with the flame clouds.
I think it's a bit too much for him.
I legit think that'll be a good moment. If Momo does that, I think that'll actually legit be a good moment.
I mean,
he's just,
it's
been good stuff for that.
to me, it's going to happen because out of all the people that we could have seen explain what actually was being, what actually was happening, it was explained to Momonosuke by Yamamoto or by Yamato, and Yamato did not know that Momonosuke was a dragon at that point in time. And,
she didn't?
Nah, she didn't. She didn't know
that when he transformed. Yeah.
So she didn't know that he was a dragon at that point. And then just to with the stuff that CP0 said about Vegapunk and how Vegapunk actually they think that he actually made a copy of Kaido's Devil Fruit, but he lied about it, and we actually we now know that he did lie about it. Come on now, it's the writings are on the wall. Momonosuke is gonna float the island, and I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, Momonosuke is he's too young, or he just got his fruit, and so on and so forth." Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
Flame clouds are flame clouds. We don't have to power scale flame clouds.
Exactly, it's just the ability. It's the ability of the
King. You want to power scale the flame clouds?
It's the ability.
There's so many questions. It's like, how does this work? I mean, maybe he is able to shift the flame clouds, not destroy the ship, but he's able to stop its fall somehow. But it's you have to question, okay, he's this young and he has Kaido's powers, and he may have them in full. Because I did a video on this a while back, or a few weeks ago. I'm like, what makes it a failure? Could it be as something just the design? Or Vegapunk is yo, it doesn't have swirls. It's a failure. It could be something like that, where he's mad petty about it. But,
dude, I mean, flame clouds, they're not offensive attacks as far as I think it's fine if he's got flame clouds. I'm not saying I don't think he's going to be using
for a whole island, Morj, a whole island, really?
It's not that.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Just let him have it.
Let him have it.
Let him have it.
Let him have it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I need to see how it's done. I
I don't particularly like Momo's character, but I think if you step back, you have to be okay, this is clearly the guy that Oda's been trying to develop the most over the course of Wano. And I think even if Momo gets that moment of holding the island up above Wano, paralleling the Odin moment and everything like that, even if you don't like the character, I think I can step back and be I appreciate the moment.
Yeah.
I'll still like the moment. You know what I mean? And maybe won't make me like the character, but I'll enjoy that as I think it's a good setup for that moment. So I hope it happens.
Yo,
Yamato on the other
in the
hand,
chat, like the stream for me, please. Like the stream for me. 800, 300 likes. Thanks, Morj. I appreciate you, bro.
I should do that too.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yamato on the other hand, I don't know how Yamato fit
She's coming, baby. She's coming.
How does she fit though? How does she fit if this is the end of Wano? That's one of the reasons I just don't get it.
Yamato, Odin travels across the world and so on. You try,
but she's such a late game addition. So little story time, so little time for an actual character. What was the point of her being in this arc? Is it just to add her to the Straw Hat crew? If so, why could she not have been introduced earlier to actually have a storyline bonding her with the Straw? I just don't get how Oda can do something significant with Yamato's character.
This is why her on the rooftop is going to be a big thing. I think absolutely.
There's got to be a lot of character stuff that's going to have to happen for over the.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, listen. Since Kid's not getting it, might as well give it to Yamato.
Oh my God, King. Stop it, King.
Where's the Kid flashback? I'm waiting for the Kid flashback.
Oh nah, there is no Kid flashback. I'm sorry.
Oh come on, Law got a flashback.
hey, listen. That's the only thing I'm gonna rock with King on, bro. Is that Kid flashback is done. That Kid flashback is down in the dumps, bro.
Oh my goodness, man.
You can't hear this. I still believe
it. Useless Captain Kid.
Still believe it.
Let me see. Okay, so
by the way, I'll just say this. I got about 10 more minutes. If that's good.
Okay, that's cool, bro. I mean,
you got
there's a big question I'm gonna get to. juicy topic or something.
Got dono or something, man?
No. I think I missed the donos. I missed them. We were talking, but thank you to everybody that just did donate. There were like three donations. I appreciate y'all. I wanted to touch on the Marines, the Marine question that we got about Smoker and Tashigi possibly being in Wano. And now I'll just say I don't know which Marines specifically are gonna be in Wano. I will say that I don't think that it should be a fleet that comes to Wano. I think there should be like individual Marines that go to Wano based off of Sword. Assuming that Smoker got some kind of buff because of Vegapunk, I could see why Smoker would, be a candidate to arrive to Wano, and then just his connection with the Straw Hats. But I
mean, are the Marines really coming though? Like, are they really coming? Like,
I think at the end of Wano they'll come.
It depends. I think a lot of people thought like Fujitora had some connection to Wano. I still like that idea, but it's just not looking as much.
So okay, I know that you got the other one, Matt. I think that more so than the Yonko stuff, they're doing the warlord stuff, because I think that like right now Amazon literally should be in full scale war, like a full scale battle with the Marines, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not too sure. Because the warlord system, they said that they acquired all their force, like a large portion of their forces. They can't just have Fujitora or Kizaru go to Wano on a random. Like, no, because they do warlord stuff. So I feel like that's going to be more important. I think it was, again, whatever's going to happen now with the pirates, going to happen with the pirates, and that's it with Wano Country. And Wano Country, and maybe they fail, which would be great. But if they don't fail, Wano Country, Luffy's first official territory in the New World. Boom.
But King,
easy.
King, at the present time, that warlord stuff should be done.
I don't think it's done.
That was about a week ago.
Exactly. It was a week ago. So
yeah, but Amazon is a full country. Like, they're not gonna be going out in a week. Probably it's a whole country.
Dude, remember Diesel from the Big Mom Pirates took out like a country in like.
Oh come on, dude! Hey,
bro,
yo,
bro, listen. It was a week. It was a week's
some
time.
big island, dude.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, dude, some of the new. This is the thing, though. By the way, some of the New World islands actually suck. For all of the hype that some of the New World countries get, like. Big Mom's fodder can like solo some of these islands, so there's some like really trash New World islands out there. I just think that's really
bro.
Like fodder is fodder anywhere you go.
It's a week. It's a week. A week since all of that has happened. So I'll just say that that's what I think that Akainu was referring to when he said that our forces are expended. Like, we can't go to Wano right now. That's what I think he was talking about. But hang on a second. Let me look at these donations. I just want to say something about these donations. Yeah. Mars the Prodigy, appreciate the $20, bro. Said, what if what is actually heading to Wano is the Florian Triangle creatures, and Momo instead can control them as Uranus, and they hold the island up like Noah and Fishman Island. Also, congrats King and Morj for recent theories correct. Shouts out to y'all. And then the Loner 23 again, donating $5. Appreciate you, bro. Said, I'm a carrot stan, LOL. So do y'all think there will be a small redemption arc for Carrot and Wano or afterwards?
Yo, shouts to Carrot Dog, for real.
Oh my god, bro.
Yo.
I totally forgot that Carrot got fucked up at Paris. I forgot that happened, like, off screen 3 chapters ago.
Oh my god, bro. Yo, okay, hold on. So, that was one of the funniest chapters. One of the funniest things that I've ever read in One Piece was Pero Sparrow saying, yo, what y'all mad at me for?
I had to kill this nigga.
That nigga killed himself.
Damn.
Dude, he's got a fucking candy arm for like the rest of his life, and then he's angry at him for some reason. Like, I was furious. I'm like, you look at my fucking handicap, bro. Like,
hey, you came to our house. What the fuck?
Yeah, like, what y'all think was gonna happen, bro? Like,
oh shit.
No, Sparrow
was crazy.
That is still one of the funniest things, bro. That was funny. Okay, and I don't even think that was meant to be funny, but Like, yo, what
He
you
got mad
mad at me
respect on that
for?
one, for sure.
Oh man, that was funny. And then just the way that he was talking crap to her, like, what did he say? Something about go back in the forest?
Yeah, like like eat some carrots, like force some like vegetables. What are you doing, dog? Come on, like know your role. Yeah, man, that shit was brutal.
Sparrow is a savage.
Oh man, that was lovely. That
No,
was fucking
Perisparrow definitely
outstanding.
grew on me over Wano for no
Yes.
reason.
Yeah, no reason at all. Like I didn't
it's
like
like-
him. I didn't like him in Whole Cake, but now, bro, like, oh yeah, he's funny.
It's all right. Why is he still here? He's just still here.
Bro, he's coming for Marco. He's coming, man.
Yeah.
Yo, he's coming to collect.
Yo, Sanji's gonna come save Marco. I'm telling you.
I really hope so, dude. Because Sanji's got
Not
some catching
from-
up in terms of like.
Not from Peril Sparrow.
I don't even know. Like, I think this was something that we were all planning on talking about before, like the Sanji Zoro stuff. But like, it's a little late now. But I'll just say, like, Sanji's got some. He's got some work to do. Because normally when Sanji,
No.
I'll just say this. Right. So lots of times it seems like throughout the series, you can go back throughout the series. It seems like Sanji's falling behind or not getting as many feats, and then Oda kind of like gives him some really good fights that seem at least like comparable. Like one-off from Zoro or something like that. That happens a lot. You see that in Alabasta, you see that in Enies Lobby and stuff. The difference here is that even if, like, the stuff that Zoro did on the rooftop, like Sanji beating someone like Queen, it just doesn't, like, because Zoro got so much extra stuff. It's not just like Zoro's getting a good 1v1. He just got so much crazy stuff up there on the rooftop, like, so many different ways to shine. It's hard for, like, Sanji to just get a fight, just get a good fight, and for Sanji fans to like really feel satisfied that like he's getting his due, you know, like what he's owed or whatever, like whatever people believe if you're a Sanji fan that he's owed. You know what I mean?
This is what I'll say in terms of Sanji and just where I'm leaving my expectations at, right? Is that I think that Sanji should either defeat King or Queen. My preference is King, and then I want Sanji to be the one to figure out that CP0 is in Wano.
That would be good.
Yeah. And if there's some type of interaction between Sanji and CP0, then I would love that. Because I mean, I think you know,
He's
when
good at that
Sanji
shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's espionage, that's Sanji's, like, that's his bread and butter right there. And then just to add a little bit more, my preferred style for Sanji would have been him being a Rukushiki master. So whenever we come out of time skip and we could see that Sanji could, skywalk, I thought that Sanji was going to have at least three Rukushiki powers. And then as the rest of the time skip progressed, he would get more. So if this is like opening the doors for that, for Sanji to learn more Rukushiki style techniques, then I'm all for it. But I think that he should definitely have some type of interaction with CP0 before the end of the arc.
I like the idea of Sanji getting, like a big moment. Like he needs to get a good fight, no matter what. He needs to get a really good fight. King or Queen. But I also like the idea that like he should be able to do something that nobody else really does. Something espionage related, intelligence related, something like that.
Right.
But like on a bigger scale than normal. Because
so like in terms of like what Sanji's gonna do, it's like Sanji's gonna wind up doing something that have high impact. Because what exactly he's gonna do, I'm not too sure per se, but it's gonna be high impact moment per se. But I think that like in terms of power, for the first time I'm seeing Zoro have full power. I have no idea what Sanji do have full power. I have no idea. So it's like this is why it's like people have to, or at least as a Sanji fan, I recognize that Sanji got to shine last arc, and in terms of fighting, or in terms of Zoro's the second most important character in this arc. So it's like, to me, I feel like, yeah, of course Zoro's gonna shine, and for him it's gonna be mainly fight stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that in a group fight Zoro gets a lot of shine against Kaido, especially after the scabbard to damn sure Kaido. But in Sanji's case, Sanji has to take a back seat because he already got all that stuff last arc. So ultimately speaking, all I gotta see Sanji to have like a pretty good fight, depending on how he like fights against King or Queen or wherever the hell. If he does other stuff too afterwards, that'll be all just bonus stuff. Because ultimately, I don't think the dynamic changes because Sanji doesn't fight at full power for the first time. He hasn't done that yet.
Victor Miller, I appreciate the donation. That's actually pretty good. So $5 donation, thank you, sir. He said Sanji, Drake, Marco versus Queen, Perospero, King. I've been thinking about those matchups. I think, Drake versus Queen, Sanji versus King, and then maybe Marco versus Perospero.
Marco's like towards the end of his rope, so like I think it's
right.
fine if he gets like a chill opponent. Like Perospero's not that.
He's
not as
oh.
strong. He's not like a first mate or anything.
One more thing that I'm gonna
700
say,
mil, man.
One more thing
700
I'm
mil,
say,
but like I don't think he's like Katakuri.
Stronger than higher than Sabo. Whoa, wait a minute.
Stop it, King.
Yeah,
stop
come on,
it.
but he's not comparable.
Stop it. One more thing I'm gonna say about Sanji, and the whole espionage thing is that he should either have an interaction with CP0 or Sanji should be the one to figure out that Drake is a part of Sword. And that Drake has actually called the Marines to Wano. I think that's perfect for Sanji. If Sanji's the one that does that, alerts everyone, perfect. I have no complaints. King, you're wrong for that, Sanji, or for what you just said about Sabo. Stop it, man. You know the next time that we see Sabo, the next time we see Sabo's bounty, Sabo is gonna have a bounty over $1 billion, well over $1 billion. I say $2 billion.
I mean, next time we see Sabo, he's probably going to be captured and need saving.
That's cap.
That's also probably true. But...
That's cap. That's cap.
All right, fellas, I'm going to head out.
All right, no doubt.
This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed talking. I haven't done a One Piece podcast in a bit, so it's actually... I know Hara's in the chat, so...
Yeah,
sorry, dude.
It's been a while. It has been
we'll talk soon. But yeah, I haven't done a One Piece talk in like a while, so I forgot how much I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, man.
Nah,
Thanks,
man,
Ben, for the invite.
Glad you were able to come through, bro.
Yeah, King, good talking to you too, man, as always. And I'll
Great,
talk to you
dude, no doubt. And make sure to, I guess, hodl your Doge if you want to,
Oh, yeah, actually. Thanks for the tips. I might actually ask you about that in private later. But
yeah, sure. Come on, man. Anytime, dog. Anytime. I got you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, but we gotta talk about that more.
The world's changing. Holy shit.
Yo, Doge is going crazy right now.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
It's so dumb, dude. It's so dumb, but it's spiking like a motherfucker right now.
It is, bro.
I mean, I would suggest if you want to put more. I'm not a financial advisor. All right. Yeah. Like if you're good, you're good. If you're good, you're good. Fuck it.
I'm not putting any more into it. I'm leaving it as is. I'm leaving it as is, and we just gonna, bro. This is crazy, man.
I know you're waiting. Yeah. Oh, so I mean, if I were, you know what? Fuck it. You do you. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not a financial advisor. You do you, my dog. Shit. Damn Doge. All right. Shouts to the Doge holders.
Yeah, shouts out to the Doge holders. It's 30. It's at 32 right now. But not King. So I don't know if you wanna keep going. I can
go for like a little bit longer, like a little, because I'm waiting for a video from one of my editors, but I'm not seeing it yet. So okay. Yeah, I can go for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's 1v1. Man. So King, bro, we got to go back to this kid stuff. We got to go back to the kid stuff because I've been labeled as a kid hater as of recently. That's what everybody is saying. Yeah, I've been labeled as a kid hater because I've just been saying he's not been impressive. Like, okay, so for one, everybody wanted me to everybody was impressed that Kid took that hit from Big Mom, right? So my retort to that and why I wasn't impressed behind it was because it's like, did we expect these people on the roof to get one shot by the Yonko? And no, we didn't. So at the very least, this wasn't a name attack. This wasn't an attack with Haki or anything like that. So he should be able to take that attack, right?
Oh yeah. In principle, I feel like, because I think in terms of like Kid, because if we expect Kid to be like, or at least initially like a Luffy, then he should be able to take attacks like that and still keep on fighting and still on doing stuff. I mean, because like the parallel here would let's say be King and or Kid and Queen, where Queen took 2 shots and then he was done for a period of time. But you can argue, well, they were bigger shots because she threw his ass and so on, hit a bunch of shit. So other things matter, obviously. But is it impressive for Kid to take that? In some way, yeah, but compared to like every other person there, Not necessarily, right? It's like you look at Killer, who did the weird sonic wave thing that bypassed Kaido's scale. You look
Mm-hmm.
at Law, he's been saving these boys left, right, and center, teleporting them all over the place. He's doing like the whole like antibacterial current thing. He's doing all different things, and he's looking pretty good. Zoro's been absolutely phenomenal, and Luffy's been godlike. Kids, like, you could argue, I think it's safe to say that Kid's been the worst performing person on the rooftop. Is that fair to say?
I would say that is definitely fair to say.
All right, but no one thought that Kid would be that.
No.
Really?
Because of what Kid did last chapter, I would say that Killer is the worst on the roof. Then Kid, then Law, Zoro. Well, Law, Luffy, and Zoro. Huh?
What did he do last chapter?
He did the repel. He put Zeus in the box. Now, I will say this though. I will say this as far as the repel thing. We've known that Kid can do the repel stuff. Mm-hmm. We've known that. So I wasn't too impressed. I was just happy to see it. I was happy to finally see it again. So what?
But is it really complicated though? It's like I would say that Killer's been better than Kid because Killer actually did damage to Kaido substantially. Like we see, like he bypasses Kaido's scales, does a Sonic Blade stuff, and then he does stall out. I mean, plus he takes Big Mom's Indra's arrow thing, still can fight after that, and then he does stall out Napoleon for a period of time. Where it's like Kid, he threw Kaido, which is like okay, like you get like a Dumbledore clap, like all right, like not bad, dog. And then afterwards, Big Mom just like okay, is that it? I mean, okay, so like Kid's been. Like compared to what Luffy is doing, because kids' expectations weren't like Killers or
they weren't
even like Laws. They were like Luffy's.
Kids' expectations were definitely up there with Luffy's. So from that perspective, yes, he's like dropped the ball completely. It's down to the floor. It's like, yo, come on, bro, what are you doing? So, but I'm just gonna say this, King. I think we know that Oda is notorious for saving people's abilities and then showing them at the last the last little minute. So I'm reserving that. I'm reserving that hope for Kid. If Kid doesn't do anything with Big Mom, if Kid doesn't come back to the Kaido fight, or if he doesn't have some type of impressive showing with Big Mom, then I'm right there with you, bro. And I mean, me personally, King, the reason why I've been giving Kids so much flack is because it's like, okay, I'm looking to future opponents, right? And to me, if you put Kid in the face of an Admiral, and Admiral's laughing at them German suplexes, and Admiral is laughing at these wrestling moves, bro. Like, yo, they're like, let me go call Vince McMahon for you real quick.
Hey, yo, Kurt Angle style, man. Singlets and everything, man.
Facts.
Okay, so then what does this do for your thoughts on Kid being like Luffy's opponent at some point in the? Because remember, I think Dritz talked about before, like Kid's gonna be fighting against Luffy, because Kid may be involved with the whole Shanks defeat potentially. So like, does this change any of that in your mind?
No, I still think
Luffy. Really?
I still think that Luffy and Kid will fight later on, in the series. I do. I feel like that's like me just holding and praying that it actually does happen. Now, I'll say this, right? Is that if Kid with the whole separation thing and how I kind of see it is it's going to be like Luffy and Zoro versus Kaido, and then Killer and Kid versus Big Mom. If they both kind of, show that they're capable of taking down a Yonko, then, that gives me hope for like the future, that Luffy and Kid will have a grand fight. Because I think I think that the Supernova should fight amongst each other after Wano to continue the Throne Wars. Because I think what they're doing right now is getting rid of the big fish, the Yonko. They're getting rid of Big Mom. They're getting rid of Kaido. Blackbeard will get rid of Shanks, and then you'll have the 2 emperors left, and that'll be Luffy and Blackbeard. And then until then, right? Maybe the Supernova fight amongst each other. Maybe some of the Supernova and some of the Marines fight, fight against each other. Maybe the Revolutionaries will get in, get into that mix as well. But I don't think that we'll see any Revolutionaries versus like Marines until Final War.
I mean, I would argue we may see that depending on Sabo. I know you don't want to hear it. Depending on Sabo, we could get that really soon, because I think that there's a whole thing alluded to where there's going to be a role that the Grand Fleet's going to play, a big role that I think is going to take place before the final battle. So I'm pretty sure it may involve either Sabo or it could involve the whole Big Mom thing, where Luffy comes in on there. So either, because I argue Big Mom's not going down this arc, which what I'm saying is, like, I think Kid's going to have maybe, like, Kid's best thing that he can do, I think, at this point in time, would be, in theory, lifting up that giant sword that we see, in Onigashima, and then doing something with that. That'd be Kid's like best thing that he could possibly do. But him actually defeating someone, like in terms of like a Big Mom, I think that's very, very hard pressed. Especially when like we see Luffy had to go through another power up, like a Conqueror's Haki power up to fight on Kaido's level. Maybe, like, we're not too sure at all. So you may have a Gear 5, who knows? But Kid hasn't got any power ups. He's still just Eustace Captain Kid. He may have a Haki Bloom. That's kind of being generous.
Potentially,
honestly.
That is being generous. I mean, I think so. Kid seems to have some, or doesn't seem to have Rio. Seems to have, it doesn't seem to have Rio. So what I've been advocating for is because Kid's Devil Fruit is so OP that maybe that supplements for his lack of Rio, some way, somehow. I don't know how. Because it's, he hasn't really been doing stuff with his Devil Fruit.
Oh no, well, he has, because he threw Kaido, but it just didn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It's like he's been doing things, but in the grand scheme of things, they're not all that impressive compared to like Law. Like Law actually did, like he did the Gamma Knife, and he's done like we saw the injection shot. We see Kaido cough of blood, like, oh my god. Whereas Kid, he throws him, and it's like, okay, but I mean, like, Kid and Luffy were supposed to be, they still are rivals, but it's not what a lot of folks were hoping from Kid. And so I think that ultimately speaking, and again, the fact that Luffy gets another power up, it's like he's leaving his peers in the dust. It's absurd. Like, Luffy now, I'd argue.
King, just to touch on that, right, is like, I thought that it was going to be Luffy and Kid to take, like, the driver's seat.
Yeah, I agree.
I never thought that it would be Luffy and Zoro. Even with me, believing in ZKK, I never thought that it would be Luffy and Zoro. But Luffy and Zoro are, bar none, the most impressive on the roof.
I agree. Yes.
Bar none. It's not even close. But then
after that is a question, because I don't think it's Kid, because I'll say it'd be Killer and Law.
No, it's definitely Law. Law is definitely the most impressive after Luffy and Zoro. And then you got the bottom people, and that's Kid and Killer.
But the problem is that even with this, and again, the onus was written for Kid to really, because I'm curious as to what Morj's video is going to be about. I just don't see how you can have Kid say, oh my god, Big Mom, let's go after her. What? It makes you can argue, okay, because back in Fishman Island, Kid and Big Mom, they had something with like Kid destroys like some of her ships.
Mm-hmm.
But compare that to having your first mate eating a small Devil Fruit, you're getting your ass kicked by Kaido personally, Apu betraying you, even the whole Kid Apu thing. That has not come to pass.
Yeah,
like, what's going on there?
That kind of pissed me off too, man. Like that whole
dude, what's going on with Kid? Dude, what's going on?
If anybody should have taken out Apu, if anybody had a grievance with Apu, it should have been Kid, and Kid should have handled him decisively. I feel like if you would have had Kid handle Apu leading up to going up to the roof, that would have added more hype onto him. Just, it would have given us, the expectations were already through the roof. I feel like that would have added, more credence to those expectations. But before we go on, let me just get to these donations before I forget them. The Dream 16, hello Matt and Cole. Do you see Gotta Curry having any role in Wano? And he said thanks and F Spectrum. I agree. Nah, I don't think that Katakuri is gonna pop up
I
in
wish.
Wano.
Wish.
It'd be
That's not
dope.
happening.
It'd be dope, but I don't think so. Let's see. Roanoa, nice name. Yo, guys, do you think that similar to how Brule sort of appeared out of the blue when Luffy was fighting Cat, someone will come to the roof momentarily? Yes. I don't think that someone will just come out of the blue. I think more people that are in the dome will come to the roof, like Hawkins, Yamato, so on and so forth.
I think it's Yamato. I think Yamato's a guarantee. I think she's a guarantee. Because like Yamato's thing with Kaido, and then let's say her flashback and her story with Kaido, and because I think that ultimately speaking, I mean, listen, maybe she doesn't join the crew, but I think there's a good chance she could now. I think Yamato, she's very popular. People like her a lot. Her being the Oden, if you would, and he went on his journey. I don't see why. Like it's hard pressed, but I can see her join the crew.
I think she's a lock for the crew. Like a lot of people are saying Carrot. Nah, I think Yamato is definitely a lock.
Carrot's out, dog. Carrot's out.
Carrot's done.
What do you think of the theory about what if, because we maybe Ashura Doji's dead, maybe, right? But what if Inu and Echo die this arc? Would you see like people like Carrot or Wanda taking the reins as like the queens or whatever the fuck? Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that would be cool. I know a lot of people think that some of the Scabbards are gonna die. If I were to say any of the Scabbards were to die, my choice would be probably Kinemon.
I mean, you know what? I'll be cool with that one. I don't see it, but I'll be cool with that one.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I don't really see any of them dying. King, if you want me to be honest, I don't see any of them dying. But if I were to point to which one, I'd probably say Kinemon.
All right, that's fair.
Mr. Quixotic, appreciate the donation. Useless Captain Mid.
That's it. That's the one. Oh fuck, that's the one. Damn.
Donatello, I think I just missed one. I think Donatello. Okay, there you go. Another $5 donation. I appreciate y'all donating to the stream, man. He says, do you think that what Kid took back from Big Mom's territory was possibly something that will help him hurt her? Or Kid and Killer kill one of her souls?
I mean, maybe, but I mean, like, let's be real for a second. I mean, but that's if we even believe. Well, I guess you do, but like, I don't think Big Mom and Kid, like, they may have a fight thing, but I don't think. I think Big Mom's just gonna be like, "Yo, like, sit the fuck down."
Well, this is the thing, right? I don't think that Kid. I don't think it was something that belonged to Big Mom. So it said that Kid took something back. So I'm guessing maybe that was a crewmate. Maybe a crewmate or something along those lines. He went in there, get his crewmate, got out, peace. That's what I think it is.
So like, let's say she had heat in, like, let's say the book, like, had heat pinned down like a fucking
something like
a
that.
Trophy. He got that shit.
Something like that. And then Kid went in there and got his person back. Enter a name, funny username as well. $5 donation. He says, Marco, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the donation.
Marco. Yeah.
Eric Tolado, appreciate you, bro. Another $5 donation. He says, shouts out the Red Force podcast. He said, kids trash. I've always been right. Hey man, we'll decide if you've always been right after Wano is over. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. But while we're on the subject of Kid, right? So King, this is what I wanna offer you, and just something to think about. So with the Big Mom Pirates being here and Wano, right? And you said you foresee Kid picking up that metal sword. I agree with you. I think that could I think that definitely could happen. What do you think about the commander that Kid injured? What if that was Cracker or Smoothie? Would that change your opinion on Kid at all?
Maybe, but not that much, because like for me, Kid is someone that I kind of put in that realm of power anyway, like on paper. So it's like if he injured, so yeah, like for me, Kid has always been stronger than Cracker. Okay. Or at least in the general sense.
I agree.
So for me, it's been like if you have Kid, let's say, because I don't think Cracker's there. Maybe he's, because I think in the anime he's on the ship, but in the manga he's not. I'm not too sure who's on the who's on the championship at this point in time. But let's say that Kid, he is gonna wind up running to Smoothie because let's say they're back up at the waterfall finally, and then Smoothie, like, so the Big Mom Pirates, the championship, they have ultimately with Kid. My opinion of Kid is already like high, but it's like by a default because of his like who he's part of that monster trio supernova clique.
Supernova.
Right. So he's already high. Like he's like my second no like my second top supernova, but only on paper. Only on paper. That's really it. So would it change? Not really. Not really. I need to see Kid do some substantial things.
If
Like
Kid,
honestly, like
if
Law
Kid
has done a
does,
lot better.
if Kid does anything with that Sword King, this is what I think it should be. Now that he's fighting Big Mom, if the Big Mom pirates actually do get above the waterfall, if they're like on their way, you know, to help Big Mom, if Kid sinks their ship with that metal sword, I would love that. I think that's probably as good as it can get with Kid and that metal sword, because I don't really see him doing anything else unless he cuts Kaido's head off with it. But I don't think he's gonna do that.
What if, and this just sounds crazy, because what if instead of Kid doing all this, you know, Big Mom, because Big Mom, she may bail, she may come back, ruthless, say, you know, Kaido's fighting Luffy. Big Mom may do other things because I think she may, like, I don't see her being defeated this arc. That's my personal opinion. What if Kid and Apu, that comes to pass fully? Even though we have Drake right now with Apu, what if Drake gets, you know, he goes off somewhere else? Like, because let's say Drake and Queen be big, that's a thing. Or let's say, because Hawkins still in play too. We don't know what Hawkins is doing. So like, there's other options, I guess, for Kid outside of hoping that the big that helping like they come back and then Kid has to fight against them. Like it have to be Big Mom or something like that. But Big Mom and Kid, I no, just for me that was never an option, honestly. So like it's tough. Kid
I think Kid should only listen. If Kid does anything less than interacting with a Yonko, fighting a Yonko, and Wano, it's done.
But he did that already, and it wasn't like at this point in time, I have in terms of importance, in terms of power, I have Zoro officially over Kid.
Yeah,
officially,
I
just
do
like
too.
it is what it is there.
I do too.
But on paper, because Kid is Luffy's main pirate rival, I think Kid should be stronger than Zoro if you look at the actual portrayal. But the feats of Zoro have now outweighed the portrayal of Kid. And so we have to see Kid just really do something in order to really kind of get back in those good graces again. But if Oda's like, nah, because I have no plans for Kid being important, let's say right now, at least on paper, then it's like, okay. Because again, Big Mom and Luffy, that's what Luffy kind of set up. So yeah, I guess the chance will be, you know, I mean, maybe Kid can fight against well, no, there's no more Flying Six left, I suppose. I don't know, bro. I don't know to tell you. I've no idea to tell you about Kid. I have no idea. He's just there. Kid just he's just that nigga.
He is, bro. It's so sad. It's so sad, bro. It's so sad because, like, you know, before I would have never I would have spoke so high about Kid, bro, and like now it's just like I don't even think twice about putting Zoro over Kid. I don't think twice about it at all. It's like Zoro. Oh, nah. This man, bro, I think Zoro, by the end of the series, Zoro's definitely like top 5. Top 5, no debate. You could possibly argue top 3.
Wherever you got Mihawk, you put Zoro out over him, basically. That's all I do.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's happening soon, though. Like, but keep it buck, though. That's happening, like, give or take, like, within the next 3 or 4 years. That's happening. That's happening.
Yeah.
Like, Zoro's gonna beat Mihawk, like, I think within. So, like, because let's say, because I have a good. So let's say he does have Conqueror's Haki fully. Because fuck it, I'm done kid. Let's say that Zoro has Conqueror's Haki fully, right?
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean fully? What do you mean fully?
I mean that we're not too sure because Zoro's not too sure, Kaido's not too sure. A lot of folks have been talking about why Enma was surging before Ashura, and so we're not too sure. And then plus, when he did get the scar on Kaido, that was to be expected. But there's no Black Lightning Haki effects. There's no gap of space, and so we have no idea. That's what I'm saying. Like, it could be a good case here where he does have Conqueror's Haki, but I'm not too sure. So like until it's a confirmed, like until we see Zoro either knocking out dudes or Zoro really like, I have this ability now, like wholesale. Like we see, like for example, like we see what Roger did. Zoro does that. Like he puts the Haki. Like there's a giant lightning black Haki chain on Zoro's swords. And I'm like, all right, fine. He's got it. He's got it.
Do you think that Conqueror's Haki could be like pivotal to achieving a black blade?
I thought initially that was possible, but at the same time, I don't think so anymore. Because if that was the case, why doesn't Roger have one?
Yeah.
Why doesn't Oden have one?
Why
Oden
doesn't
have
Whitebeard?
yeah.
Why
Exactly.
didn't Whitebeard have one? Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I've I'm just trying to make sense of it. Because
It's tough. It's tough. And so, like, here's what I will say, right? If you have this fight happening, like, let's say in the next 3 or 4 years, Zoro versus Mihawk, if Zoro can apply this to his blade, this could be Zoro's trump card against Mihawk.
So do you think Mihawk doesn't have Conquerors?
I think there's a case where he couldn't have Conqueror's Haki. I'm not against it. He could have Conqueror's Haki, but maybe he doesn't. Because Conqueror's Haki, I think, is something that is, how do you say here? The whole notion of being a king is kind of vague in One Piece because Oda doesn't really fully explain it, but obviously for mystery reasons and so on.
But
so I think Mihawk, he could have it, but he
King
couldn't
of
have it.
Swordsman?
No, because I've never seen Mihawk in that light of being like, for me, being a king is being a ruler, so to speaking. Like every person that we've seen have Conqueror's Haki, with I think maybe one exception, I think has had the qualities of leadership, of leading a large number of people. And I think that plays a very good role in being a Conqueror Haki user. So one thing that I find very intriguing is that in the data books, it's revealed that Sengoku has the ability, but not Garp. Why?
But it's kind of hinted at that Garp does have it. I think that Garp has it, absolutely. There's no way that Garp doesn't.
Very, very fair. But again, they reveal that Sengoku has it and not Garp. So maybe a Garp has it, but for the time being, let's say the Garp doesn't have it because that's not what they revealed just yet. It could be the case where he has it because, well, he's Fleet Admiral. He's the leader of the Marines. And so he has to conduct the Marines. And so by having that innate leadership skill, he has attained Conqueror's Haki of actual notoriety. Like someone that's like well known for being the leader and so on and so forth. Whereas Garp, he chose to, not be an admiral and not be Fleet Admiral because he didn't want to deal with the whole Celestial Dragon stuff. So it could be something along those lines. Like someone like Katakuri, for example. Like, why doesn't Marco have the ability, but Katakuri does? And so Katakuri, he may have the qualities of king per se, because Katakuri, we see how the crew relies on Katakuri so much. The Big Mom pirates do. Like, he's the backbone of that crew. Like, he can sit on the same table as Big Mom can. Like, he's actually telling Big Mom at times what to do, what not to do. So it's like Katakuri kind of built different than Marco, where Marco's like, oh yeah, and Marco, okay, fine, okay, cool. Like Marco's just, like, I love Marco, but he ain't Katakuri. So there are various things that the one with Conqueror's Haki, and so I never see Mihawk in that light because Mihawk, he's a loner. Like, he's a lone wolf kind of dude. Like, he just kind of chills on his own, like one of those like plateau side dudes in Roy Kenshin, like he's just chilling in the corner, like, I'm a fucking stud, like, the fuck with me. I'm like, okay. But that's really Mihawk for the time being. So he could have the ability, but he couldn't. And so we have to consider Zoro may have that ability to really lead people. We haven't seen it yet, but remember, and Zoe did say
we've seen bits and pieces. Like, we've seen him lead. We've seen him
in the pre-time skip, yes. In the post-time skip, not really. Nah, that's been gone.
Well, isn't pre-time skip enough? Like, I mean, we've seen the qualities of it.
Yeah, fair. I'll give you that for sure. But because I was hoping that we actually see Zoro lead people in this arc, because that's what he said that he would do in Zo. Like, one thing is that, like, even though I love Zoro in terms of combat, I'm hoping to see a lot more character from Zoro, and I haven't seen in this arc, which has been unfortunate. But he's been fucking phenomenal. He's been cool as shit. So. But either way, that's what I'm saying. Maybe, like, a lot of folks have been debating on Twitter, and I'm seeing it, just passing. Like, people have been debating a whole, like, why did Emma surge before he did Yasha, like all these different things.
So I guess what you're getting at is like Zoro having conquerors, or Zoro being able to use advanced conquerors will be like the way that he edges out Mihawk.
Yeah, because I think that Luffy's current ability that he has right now is going to be his edge against Blackbeard.
Okay.
Because
I'm with you on that. Like, to a certain extent, I think Luffy's mastery of Haki in general is gonna be what edges over Blackbeard, because where Blackbeard. So people in the chat, do not misconstrue what I'm saying. I do not think that Blackbeard will have any advanced version of Haki that we've seen, but I think he will have all three forms. He'll have Haki at his disposal. Obviously, we know that Blackbeard has Haki because he told Luffy that Luffy's Haki got stronger back in Impel Down. And I think to be able to sense someone's Haki, that would probably be due to observation Haki.
That's interesting, actually.
But I think that Blackbeard's I think that Blackbeard's reliance on his devil fruit has kind of like made him ignore his Haki. So, like I said, he'll have it, but not to the extent that Luffy does, where Luffy is going to have advanced versions of every single form of Haki, and Luffy is going to be a Haki master plus a devil fruit master. Blackbeard is just going to be a devil fruit master, and, you know, he'll have like maybe a 50 in each attribute as far as, you know, in terms of his Haki.
I see what you're saying, because I feel like Blackbeard would have at least some higher degree of Haki, of like, let's say armor Haki, given like how his body works naturally, because he needs that defense. So I kind of felt like maybe he would have higher degrees of armor Haki and of course Conqueror's Haki. But if not, then yeah, I mean what you're saying does kind of add up in terms of, you know, Luffy has like the full package. Like pretty sure next arc, Awakening. Like,
yeah,
you know,
he'll get in. I think Luffy's gonna get an Awakening, either against. It depends on who, you know, how you see his next opponent, right? So right. I think that an admiral is definitely gonna be defeated before the final war, and I think that admiral is gonna be Kizaru.
What?
Huh?
That's spicy. Kizaru.
Yeah, I think Kizaru will probably be defeated. But you know, some people don't like some people think all the admirals will still be around for the final war. So whatever. Or Kid. Like let's say that Kid has, you know, Kid has an awakening. And let's say that, you know, through the fight with Kid that Luffy figures out, you know, like awakening through that. Or that's what pushes him to do so. You know, so it all just depends. But yes, the next fight that Luffy is in, I think that's gonna lead to him getting an awakening. And you know what that awakening entails, I don't really know. I think it's gonna be a little different than the traditional awakening that we've seen from
I agree.
From Dofi and Katakuri. I think what Luffy's awakening is gonna do is you know how at first Katakuri was a Logia, and then it was retconned to him being a special paramecia. I think with Luffy's awakening, he's gonna be classified as a special paramecia after.
That's so if he operates, I guess, like Katakuri, but at the same time, knowing his abilities, probably not. But I see what you're saying there, because I feel like when it comes to awakening abilities, I'm not too sure if everyone's gonna be like a Dofi or Katakuri in the paramecia category, because these guys are so random with their powers. Like, how could every person's ability manipulate the environment to that extent? Maybe it could be something more like how would Law's powers work if he was awakened? Like how like would he make like a rock give its own room? Like what the fuck that would do? You know?
Yeah, I have no idea how that would work.
Yeah,
and but that's kind of what I'm getting at, right? Is because like, okay, so I mean the way that I've kind of just like looked at it or tried to decipher it is okay, so Dofi produces strings. He's not actually strings. Katakuri is a mix of both. He is mochi and he produces mochi. Luffy is rubber, but he doesn't produce rubber.
Correct.
So that's why I think that Luffy will just get more control. He'll be able to access more properties of rubber.
Okay, yeah,
with his awakening. That's what I think that his awakening will be. So, I still don't know how that's gonna look. But let me get to some of these donations real quick.
Yeah, because I do head out too. Yeah,
all right, for sure. Yeah. Ray Larea says, remember what Mihawk said was Luffy's most dangerous power? Everybody going to the roof. Momo might lead a whole squad up there to help. I agree. Like more people will go up to the roof. I don't know if Momo's gonna lead that squad, but more people will go up there. Victor Miller says, appreciate the $5 donation, bro. Luffy levels up with Haki, but maybe Kid levels up with Awakening and Haki Bloom. I could see that. I could see Kid already having an awakening. I don't think that that's out of the question, especially like when you go back to the chapter and you look, like there was like a lot of metal dragging behind Kid whenever he was walking towards the cliff. So I don't know if like we're gonna get some more of that, if we're gonna get, you know, something into that. King, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that, but I mean, I won't say that's awakening. I'll just say, that's just Kid doing Kid. He's dragging the metal over because he needs to take on Big Mom now. I mean, like honestly, it's like Kid has to do.
I
Like
feel
Kid,
you, bro. I feel
he's just
you.
there, dude. Like I'm gonna tell you, man. Like I'm trying to help your boy out, but he ain't doing shit.
Kevin Kusi said Mad D, Monk, Aruj, top 10 end of series, only Supernova to have defeated a Yonko commander besides Luffy. Keep in mind, useless Ran. Yo, come on, bro. Oh my god, bro, y'all gotta
Holy
chill,
fuck!
man.
But it's true. What he's saying is facts. Like Roach took on 1-on-1. Shit.
Y'all
Where you
gotta,
at, Kid?
y'all gotta chill. Eric Talal said you don't develop it, you were born with it. I guess he's talking about Conqueror's Haki.
Oh no, but that was I think up in the air. Like it wasn't confirmed if you actually were. I think that in some translations, I think Garp says that you're born with it, but then it's still noted to how like because Rayleigh says you don't know, we don't know how you get it, or if you get it, you can train it. So there's conflicting things to Conqueror's Haki between Garp and I think Rayleigh because Rayleigh says we don't know how you get it. So I'm not too sure.
Alan Brasi, appreciate you, my boy. Alan Brasi, that's my dog. He said, shout out to my captain Benny. Shout out to my fellow Haitian Cole. What up, Zoe? Yeah. Shouts out to Alan Brasi. Always good having Alan Brasi around for discussions. And then Christopher Morency says, Garp is Luffy's granddad. Based on heredity, Garp and Dragon should have Conqueror's Haki. I agree. And then with this last chapter, it really made me think about how strong Dragon is gonna be. Because I think Dragon's gonna be a hockey master as well. But that's neither here nor there. We'll see that.
Man, that ran
on.
from Blackbeard, yeah, I feel you.
Oh, stop it, King! Stop it!
Hey, y'all about to bounce, son. All right, dude. I'm about to bounce, my boy. All right.
We gonna end it right there, man. King, I appreciate you coming through, bro. It's always good, talking
no
One
doubt,
Piece
man, no
with you,
doubt.
man. Always good just talking to you in general, bro. With
Sure.
with COVID stopping, bro, we gotta get this meetup, man.
Yes, dude. I'm taking the vaccine tomorrow, at least the first shot. Taking them tomorrow. So hoping for good things. So hoping don't get too fucked up. But the first one, hopefully the second one, it rolls just fine. Hopefully. We'll have to wait and see though. No doubt.
I think you'll be good, bro. I've just heard that people have been getting like little slight fevers and stuff after they got the vaccine.
Yeah.
Nothing too much, and that's kind of standard protocol with vaccines.
Right.
But yeah, man, we gotta get this meetup going on because it's been like 2 years, bro, since.
It has been though, for real. Like next year, we're trying to do a lot of big things. Next year for sure. Because hopefully New York opens up because that's where me and Jota and I know Zoro in Florida. Because we have a lot of plans. So next year, trying to go through. Still trying to go to Japan. Still trying to go to Japan, South Korea, make the Asian tour. Still trying to do all different things. No doubt about that. No doubt. But I think right now we're just trying to build up our finances, build up, physically what we're gonna do. Just kind of, stall it out, and then get ready.